basically the main outdoor concert venue is. Holy crap, we're in already. Sorry for that. Sorry for this. We're in already. Right off the rip, it's going to be Seattle versus the New York SubPar Bronze. As right off the rip, we're going to have 2 picking up. 3 go down, actually, from Seattle. As New York picking up this early time now and forcing Seattle spawn out.
And, New York still with this early control of the hill. I think that they're still a bit maybe confused about where they spawn. There is, they do have 1 player of 6 back in, coming off of Eskies, as well as, now 7 and 8 have spawned in top. So I think that the control as we rotate to P2 is going to be on the side of the New York SubPar. However, we do start to see number 2 and 8 in a gunfight back there for spawns. Number 2, Casey does get taken out, and so still we see that this early control is going to go in the way of SubPar as players now start to flood on the side of the Seattle Sloths through that apartment's B-bomb site, if you will.
Yep, this is going to be, this is going to be a lockdown here from the New York side as the players are going to begin to lose the gunfights. Players dropping every which way, but right now, Top Cop is still in possession of New York, as well as these back spawns, and those are the 2 critical points really that you need on this hill. As Pomsho's going to melee him down, so he's going to pick up a big 2-piece there. The third is going to come in. It's going to be Mongo, who comes in the back. He's going to just barely stay alive here, as Sensei will take him down. So with 28 seconds to go, honestly, if you're Seattle at this point, you're probably looking to rotate to P3 here, as you just can't break through the front door, and New York is going to pick up almost a full 60.
I would argue that if you were New York, you should also have been rotating a little bit earlier, but Palm is able to get this kill. He's probably likely taken out here by number 2 of Casey. Yeah, so there really is no map presence here for New York as we head into P3. Number 8 is trying to flank around and kill her. He does manage to force the split number 1 to come through on Mongo. So we do see a bit of a split here in the top and bottom side of the map here as number 5 as well moving forwards. It looks like the spawns are going to flip here. Number 3 all alone in 1 as well in Mongo and Killshire to fend off this push. Is that the retake coming into the side of the New York SubPar are it is strong, and they are demanding they're holding this early lead.
Yep, Sensei's going to pick up another 2 as right now Pomsho 9 and 5 right now, the standout on the retake there. As Killshire is going to pick up 1, will get traded back though, and Sensei will stay alive. Currently on a 3 streak and just kind of moving his way around the outside here. As we are going to see KCP is going to be moving up. Pomsho will drop him. So right now, despite that early rotation, Seattle just wasn't able to secure the hill. They were broken pretty quickly actually by New York. And that is going to result in a lot of that time going in the favor of New York, and they're going to be off to a 50-point lead already after 3 hills.
Yeah, and the early setup as well going the way of SubPar. So I think that what Seattle can improve on here is maybe just their ability to retake some of these hills. It looks like they're struggling slightly to get back this late control of this hill, as New York has done so well on getting the early rotations. And as we say that players are going to be flooding through this globe side of street, as Palm is just feeling comfortable and cozy, pushing out a bit, as we do see splits now coming through. Number 3 does manage to spawn through in the back there, and with 23 seconds left and the 3 kill streak coming through, it is really not a lot that can be said here about this.
Right now, Mongo's 15 and 11 on the other side is basically just kind of one-man show for the team right now. As Seattle is finally going to secure some time, they will get the last 10 or so seconds on this hill, but they're still down by 60 points as we're rotating around 4P1. And you're going to have the spawn there. Irish Fireman is going to spawn all the way back in P2. That's going to be favored spawns in favor of New York. And they've got the hill, so everything going their way right now. Oh, it's the dragon camo. So pretty.
It is so pretty.
So, it didn't do him any good there as he goes down. Irish Fireman's going to be the last man on the hill here. Actually, Sensei here is going to pick up King Leahy as well. It'll still be contested here. 9 bullets in the mag. We see if Sensei can pick it up. He will on a 5 killing spree.
I think a lot of this is coming down to maybe just the early rotation, ability to if they do not have those early controls to break the hills, and as well, they're outslaying the Seattle Sloths, but not really by much. I want to say by about 10 or 12 kills, which, for me, this top cop spot here where Kill a Ghost has been able to sit for a majority of this hill has been crucial in getting those spawns for New York. Number one, it's interesting. Number 5 looks like he's coming off a kind of a split here, as I was expecting a pinch to come through on that lobby player, and it's not necessary as he does drop. It's really just feels like Seattle is playing scrappy and pushing anywhere they can here to get some of this time back.
Yeah, Mongo was able to pick up one. Will get caught from back though, as that was Palm up top. Or excuse me, down below, I guess, with the 74U. Seattle is going to charge forward. They are going to pick up this time, as they are. If they pick up the kills here, they might force a spawn out on the side of New York. But Sensei going to hold strong, picks up 3 before going down. As the hill, well, I mean, the spawns are going to flip. You can see on the minimap, KCP already on the rotation. So Seattle here trying to get on that early set. But I mean, it's going to be a 1v3 back here, and that really is not odds in your favor for Casey.
Mongo doing what he can, I think, to maybe rally up some of the momentum to the rest of his team. But I think the slaying power is difficult to match here with Sensei going double positives, as well as Palm nearly 18 and 13 here. Kill a Ghost, not really with that many interactions, but he's winning what is necessary as they come across this field of view, 13 and 3. Again, the early setup and hold going the way of New York SubPar. 3 kill streak coming through the way of Sensi. He's on a 5 now. It is going to be. It just seems like New York is just such a powerhouse here in their hold. As Sloths does manage to get 3 down, but New York is still spawning here. It's likely that New York will elect to put. Yeah, they do push 2 out. We're gonna have Irish Fireman and Palm Show are going to be on the rotation anew, as number 1 is the only one here, Mongo. He needs to clean up 2 in order to get the spot. He does drop.
Yep, as Irish Fireman is going to throw out the trophy. No one's going to be on the hill just yet. Is he going to see Mongo there? I mean, New York with only 30 seconds to go for the win, they really just, I mean, can just hop on the hill. Instead, it doesn't sound like a streak is going to come in from Killa, pick up 1 and a teammate too on top of that. As King Leahy's actually in the hill here, soaking up a good amount of time, and New York isn't really pushing this here. They're not really pressing the issue, so they're not picking up any of this time right now.
Yeah, and we know already as ticks we are going to see another P1. Yes, we are officially going to see P1 as we get through a third rotation of hills. The lead the way that it is, expect that at this point, unfortunately, Sloths have to play a pretty perfect hard point in order to come back and win this. But with that being said, we also do expect or anticipate that the players do have to break this P1. Unfortunately, as New York does get another early setup, and that doesn't help there as they line up for Ghost Killa. We do want to see that Dragonfly. Killa, can you do it with 7 seconds left on this hill? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. New York up 1-0 in the first map of this series.
Yeah, I mean, it was just overall, that was a pretty dominant showing from the side of New York here. As you can see, Mongo in the kill cam here, picking up, I think, 4? I guess it was only 3. Man rushed the plane. It's very possible that there's just there's no stopping you guys, so we are in a draw.
Which I think works. It's kind of tough to pinpoint. I think when you have 2 teams that are equally aggressive and trying to equally set the pace of their team, as I'm sorry, my webcam just crashed.
Nope, no
they when you have 2 kind of fast-paced teams fighting for that plane, yes, I can see a lot of that interaction being a lot closer in kind of like the first bloods, at least. But with the slower, kind of more methodical gameplay that Seattle Sloths has shown so far, I'm almost anticipating that, like, they may just elect to not play the plane as much as maybe a team as aggressive as New York, and they'll kind of like allow them to push, you know, and maybe pick off a bit quicker that way. So I'm gonna be this quick.
I feel like there's a limit though on how much you can afford to give up, right? Especially on a map that is like you're looking at a map like Checkmate, right, where the plane is just such a power position. It's honestly just like one of those scenarios where you're kind of like, it's like you can give this up, but there's a cap on how much you can afford. Like you can't just freely give up the whole plane, essentially.
Right, and especially if you have a who you expect or anticipate will be playing, you know, on the map. I think that in Checkmate, you shouldn't have 5 ARs, but if you do have a sub on the map, you need to have some control of plane. I'm at fault of that myself, where a lot of the time I like to play bottom plane and a bit of a cross, but some of those gunfights are difficult to judge. For example, if you are on offense and you're trying to pick out the player on the crate side of that A-bomb from the bottom plane, like that's not really going to always be great. And I think, you know, for me, I've been able to play, you know, learn to adapt a lot more and find ways to be successful in plane. But I think to your point, you need to have that sub player who's comfortable, you know, challenging those pushes in plane. And I think for a team like New York, they seem to be winning the gunfights that really are important in those early pushes, and if that means that they're likely going to win those plane interactions, then likely they are going to be dominant in those early pushes. So I guess we'll see here as we are getting loaded back into the lobby.
Yep, as we are getting ready to go here, we're going to transition back over. Hopefully we get back into the match today this time, as we did have a problem getting in on the last one. We're going to apologies, I'm looking at things here off screen. We are going to be in New York with a 1-0 map advantage.
The bomb going A, but the rest of the players getting control of B, which is a kind of push, but there may be a bit of a play distraction here as Killer does get his kill. He's pushing Bob, unfortunately, all the way back to the spawn of the Seattle Sloths, so I'm not sure if they do know now. They are aware that this player has flanked back, and it works.
That is
it works
not
for
something
them.
You see that often?
No, but I think this is coming down to what we were saying earlier, right? They've officially, and this is 1 round is all it takes. They've officially set the pace for this entire round. Chances are now Seattle Sloths is going to be playing back, anticipating these pushes, where honestly that forwards momentum is going to work in the favor of New York. So I think we'll see kind of how the rest of these rounds pan out, but I'm anticipating now, you know, with New York being on both teams kind of on a, no, actually Sloths are a 4 AR setup. Is that what you saw?
We have 174U on either side.
174U, okay. Yeah, so
in the hands of King Leahy here, as he is going to be pushing up. So this is actually solid plane control coming out from Seattle, and you can see the players from New York aren't pushed as far forward, but Sensei picks up 2 and is still here. So yeah, that is a 1-man advantage as well. King Leahy's going to be the last alive as Irish Fireman will come up the back. Sensei is going to charge forward and pick up the kill. So I mean, that's a fast 2 rounds to the side of the New York SubPar already.
Yeah, and I want to say, I mean, it's tough without knowing those players here to say that players were maybe too stacked in that plane, and we did talk a bit about how important that plane control was, but I think you know, Sensei
he's 5-0.
being 5-0, playing the sneaky sub style on that wing, cleaning up the players that he needs to as he goes. As we do see Ghost with the bomb again. I thought he might be going A, but he's coming up this plane hill. They have 3 now in plane, 1 on the cross. These players are pushing up these choke points as number 4 of Palm does get that first blood into Mongo. Bomb going down. Players trying to push up the stair side of the bottom of the plane, as it looks like number 8 is the only one alive. King Leahy does manage to get 1. quickly trade here as 2 players pinch. Oh, player runs right past him. Just a fuse.
He is actually gonna end the kill streak there though, as he is gonna
Yeah.
pick up Sensei, cut him down before he got to the streaks. But yeah, it was just, I mean, he was just kind of whipping himself around trying to figure out where everyone was here. He does pick up 2, but I mean, you're in a 1v3 situation. Really not the most ideal spot to be in. So that's going to be 3 fast rounds, though, to the side of New York. I'm pretty sure Sensei did... Oh, he got an artillery out of that.
I would be curious to see where they decide to play that streak, right? Chances are they'll try to put bomb down A and, like, defend it with the artillery at this point. There's no pressure to like really win around with a streak, right? Like you have some leeway here in the map. But as you said, that this is kind of what we were saying, right? Look at how far back Seattle Sloths is pushed on offense, and New York, without having seen anybody yet, there's this kind of standoff going on for first blood. I think number 3's taking advantage of that by pushing up Sensei with the amount of kind of eagle plays he's been able to push out so far in this map. Walks past 1, turns around. What's happening over there on that side of plane, number 3?
I'm not entirely sure what just happened here. Is yeah, Sensei just seems to ran all the way through the plane. I'm going to get spotted here. Team Leahy's going to put some shots into him. The nade will go out. That shouldn't pick him up, but I mean the call out to Mongo. Mongo should know he's here. There you go. There's the kill, picking him up.
Catches him.
And we're in a 3v2 now. So Seattle with a man advantage here.
Mongo trying to be sneaky and push around the side. He is able to catch them off guard. Called out here. Number 1 turns around. Check his corners here on the left. Likely taken out by Ghost. Ghost does do that just now. There's cat and mouse chase down as Killat does see this player who's bottom plane. Focused on the 1. Gets the 1. Knows that another player who just shot at him planted. So at this point, he has lost where this player is positioned. He knows that he is on A side and that he needs to retake, but I don't know if he knows that that he's pushed back near bomb, or that he's kind of playing this this A control side of the defending bomb here.
Yeah, I mean, Killer really just doesn't have a lot of time here. He's gonna run over here. He's gonna check this corner. He's gonna get onto the defuse and Killshot. All you gotta do is, oh, I guess the nade took him out. Didn't even need to put a bullet into him.
Yeah, so maybe some life coming back on the side of Killa doing a great job here, kind of holding his angles. Not able to close out the round, unfortunately, for New York. But I think that any kind of momentum you can gather from rounds is going to eventually allow you to kind of build up some of the pacing in your favor. So if we could start off with a player on Sloths in the beginning, if that's possible, I'd like to see if they translate some of that momentum to maybe a faster push here for map control. See Casey doing just that, is at least trying to watch for the cross here on this A side. Gets spotted by 1, I believe, as he is on this forklift side of the map. Number 1 of Ghost Killa does challenge. Yeah, does challenge that, and there's a 1v1 right now as we head into this second half of this round.
I mean, I haven't seen this many. I've never seen this many A bomb plants, but Sensei picking up 2. It's going to be Killshot on our 1v2 here. Gonna wrap around the back. He's gonna kill in the back. He will pick that one up. And he did spot Sensei as well, but Sensei with the shots at range. The 74U coming in big. He's gonna go up 4-1. As a result of Sensei with 3 in the round.
And the ability for a lot of the players to adapt as a lot of GAs come through. Right, earlier last week we got news muzzle being Sensei showing you that he doesn't need it. He's adapted, comfortable shooting that gun at range, closes it out for the side of New York, and right now he is, he's 10-2 with a 3 streak.
Yeah, I mean, right out of the rip. I mean, he's just going off for the team right now, and it's honestly a big part in the reason why these guys are up 4-1 right now over the side of the Seattle Sloths. Is we're gonna have, I mean, Sensei just been playing aggressive this entire match, and you're gonna see him gonna be prone on the wing, but Killighost will go down for first blood as Mongo will pick him off, and the shots are gonna go down. It's gonna be Irish Fireman all the way at the back at range. Sensei again just sitting here, and really just like you said about pacing, look at where Seattle is. You got a player in the tower. Casey's in the tower.
Yeah, and I think that, and especially with how players are split with 8 still watching this right side, I think that Sloths are still expecting flanks. They're expecting, these odd pushes to come through as Mongo attempting to get some map control here, pushed up, gets taken out immediately. Players at least know that there's one there, but there's also one sitting top wing, who number 3 may jump out and challenge.
Oh.
Gets taken out. Those 2 players are kind of sat just above and below each other there for a good 20 seconds or so. As number 4 forced into a 1v3, takes out one, doesn't know where any other player is, knows the bomb went down, but immediately taken out as it crossed to defuse. So 4-2, as we saw, so far Sloths have won an offense and a defense, right? So I apologize. They won 2 offenses. So it seems like just a little bit more map control and defense is would benefit them. But again, like we said, the offensive play for New York is a lot more fast paced in the early map setup, and it just doesn't seem to go over well with the side of Sloth.
I mean, it's also very possible that the side that they're playing on kind of dictates the way that Sensei's been playing. Sensei's the top fragger in the lobby right now at 10-3, and when they're on defense, he's usually pretty satisfied to just kind of sit on that wing and wait it out, right? Spends the entire round just kind of waiting it out. As there you go, he slides in, but when they're on offense, he's the one dictating the pace. He's not waiting for players to come to them. He's trying to make his own opportunities, and that's what you're going to see here. Is he's going to go around back. He's going to not pick up that kill on a Mongo, actually, but the bomb is going to go down. Killigos is going to be the last alive, and 3 go down just like that. As you are going to have the defuse picked up here by Seattle. That was a really quick set of just kills going in favor of Seattle.
Yeah, and like we said, it's one round at a time, right? If I think that hard point may very well have made them anxious or nervous to verse a team like New York, but you need to kind of grapple back where you can, and I think they certainly have a very good shot at coming back here as they win the defense. They're heading into this offensive round where they're 2 of their 3 rounds are offensive kills. And I'd like to see if maybe they can take some of that momentum and push out, as they see that they are doing so early in the round, and they've already stopped there at these plane stairs. Casey does see one, and unfortunately Palms returns fire, continues to kind of wallbang through that godheady spot of wood. Mongo, I think that players here maybe will be electing to push out at this A side pretty soon, as it looks like they actually are avoiding this kill streak, as he does take out one, and that's bombed down right now in plane stairs, as the side of New York kind of just playing angles at this point, knowing that bomb likely is down on the side of that side of plane, and they're really just trying to play for information at this point, being up as much as they are.
Yep, I mean, there's just no one's peeking out. No one's really showing themselves. As Palm Show will peek out, will pick up that kill on a Mongo, though. So it's now going to be King Leahy in a 1v4. Not really your favorite position to be in, especially against a team like this. He's popped out. He's going to catch one there onto Palm, but will get dropped, and the streak will be expended, so it will work out in their favor. They will pick up the round 5-3. These were great shots here at the beginning. Honestly, it's just kind of weird to me, though, how you can wallbang everything in Black Ops Cold War, like literally everything.
Right, like you would imagine. Now every time I fly, I'm gonna be worried that this flimsy piece of steel that you're able to shoot through is not strong enough to hold me in the air. The way that Checkmates left a lasting image in my mind. But the early setup here of New York, 3 in the hill. You have number 3 on your map, as well as is flanking around, and players should know that he's here. He doesn't get taken out. Mongo does just that, as King Leahy all alone here in hill. They do take out another player in the plane, so the life count is actually in favor of Sloths here. 3-1 as Palm Show takes out one. He does not know where any other player is, unfortunately, so it looks like number 8 is actually pushing out King Leahy. He might have heard him here. Yeah, he does hear him. That is so unfortunate. Now, at this point, Mongo has the information he needs to know that there's a player who is in plane. I'm not sure that he knows that the player has pushed out. It looks like he's just playing it slow a slow roll here. If there's no information here, I think glancing to A would be beneficial, but it's tough, right? We see a lot more than these other players see, as the timing cannot be any better for Mongo, but unfortunately shots do not land. Palm playing his life. He has an error as well. Nades out for the early week. Is snaking? Is he snaking? No, just playing a crouch and go, if you will.
From here,
Ring around the rosy.
He's trying to get to the B bomb site, but he has to get this kill. He doesn't have time to plant the bomb. He's not going to get it in time. The clock doesn't stop.
Oh,
The clock doesn't stop in this game when you plant the bomb. It's not Rainbow Six Siege. Well, that is going to be... I mean, Palm did a fantastic job of bringing that from the 1v3 back into a 1v1. But then it just didn't pan out. Actually, that would have been the ace if he clutched that one up at 1v3 and an ace. Unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be. Just couldn't get the bomb down. And I guess a bit of indecision at the very end as he headed towards... Tried to go towards B, I guess, and then just couldn't get there fast enough. So we are going to be on board here as well. Seattle 5-4 now after going down 4-1.
And again, we see the opposing Sloths playing a lot more aggressive of D. The early call is going to be that there are 2 on the plane and taken out. It looks like, oh, since you're not able to get the third. So up, it's already 3-1 again for the side of Sloths. They certainly have a chance here to capitalize on the life advantage. Bomb is likely going down here. Oh, killing the perfect position to take out the player. Yeah, bomb down on plane. Players know that there is somebody lingering over this 8-lane side. Ghost Killa needs to get this 1v2 as a player is anticipating the push through stairs. Doesn't get taken out. We are at around 11, ladies and gentlemen.
Honestly, after that 4-1 start, I can't say I was expecting around 11, but I mean, Seattle has been in 3 different 3v1 situations, and they've come down to 2 1v1s and a 1v2. So I think, like, a lot of it, like, if we're going to see is they pick up those early kills, but you have to play together. You have to be there for trades on your own team. Because from what we've seen so far, Seattle is engaging in a lot of 1v1 gunfights, and some of them are going their way, and some of them are really not going their way. This is, we can see, like, from the 2 3v1s that end up getting turned into 1v1s because of individual challenges, there's going to be no streaks on the board. So this does mean it's going to be straight out gunfights. And Seattle's on offense, which honestly, given their track record so far, might be pretty advantageous.
I was just going to say, typically you want the defensive side on search, but it's worked in their favor so far. So let's see who can get this first blood as players gunfight down in the bottom. Mongo likely getting called out here by number 4 as Palm Show does peek out. Irish Fireman and Palm as well. The first 1 and 2 blood as we open. Mongo pushing this player. Palm Show, he does get the trade and gets taken out immediately. Down to a 1 versus 3 for Killshire. Killshire not able to close it out. New York does take map 2. They're up 2 maps now in this series.
I mean, this came just all the way down to the wire, and I think, honestly, just the kills going their way at the very end there, as you have Irish picking up 2 inside of the plane, and trades out at the end here to Mongo, and then just kind of ring around the rosies there with Killshire setting the control. Seattle on the attack first, and I mean, this is exactly what we just saw in the last game. In the last match before this was the team that was down 2-0 was on the attack and pulled out a really solid first attacking round. I'm looking forward to seeing what Seattle has in store for us here.
Right, we're kind of seeing that here where Sloths are maybe shadowing this B spot. So they're electing to stack here early on. In my opinion, this is the force we've been talking about, right? So number 7, he's guns blazing here. He's pushing out. He knows that players are going to be coming off the spawn. It looks like there's a slower setup here for New York, which may be working in their favor. Mongo does get the trade here. So it looks like they're going to elect to try to get one more sweep of these players before they push out spawns. And as we say that, lives are still pretty close. They're only down by 1. Seattle Sloths. So as we say that, 4 players coming off the spawn from New York, and they are stacking A. So they have been able to get this first pick onto A. Players so far just doing a decent job of holding down their lanes as Killshire last in the hill, but does get a really important gunfight.
As the Irish fireman is kind of like dipping in and out as he's going to pick up that kill there on a Killshire. So the second tick is not going to come through. Mongo will trade back. Palm's going to be in this corner. Will get one. Looking to see if he can pick up a second as well as well, Sensei's going to pick that one up instead. So only one tick from the side of Seattle. Only a 3-life gap here. So Seattle not doing too bad for themselves right now. But they're getting trapped into this funnel here.
Oh my
Towards A.
gosh. And there's where the spawn trapping we were talking about. Number 8, Ghost Killer, or Killer Ghost, sorry, does get taken out, but they're kind of testing the waters here and how far they can push out. Where number 4, although no players really coming off spawn, he does have some advantageous positioning here. He does get taken out, unfortunately. As players of New York are continuing to come off spawn here, still a pretty close fight in life count. Honestly, considering that Sloths are attacking, I think that they need to play their lives a lot smarter. As it should be an easy trade here for them. Yeah, and it's like I said, it's still going to be pretty close. They're going to stack this and likely get at least another tick. Yeah, they did. Onto A. Ghost Killer. Ghost Killer is my favorite hip-hop artist. I'm not sure if you can tell. Is, you know, getting a lot of key interactions here in his favor, Mongo, and 3 down for the side of Sloth. So right now the momentum shifts in their favor. They might get a second tick here onto B as well, as players are coming off spawn and they know that Killshare with another huge kill. Mongo maybe anticipating a P5 push. They did 3 down again. It just went from 9 to 15 to 7 and 3 in favor of Seattle. 7 to 2 now. What's the
goodness?
How did they pull that out?
That was, so Mongo there picked up some absolutely massive 2 pieces. Sorry about that. As, I mean, Palm could have been the hero on that round as he came around the corner for the flank on a B, but then he just got picked up. So unfortunately was not able to complete it. But it does look like they are asking for... New York is asking for new hosts, so I'm not sure if they're going to play out as, yeah, okay, there goes one player from the game.
Okay.
As,
what I could tell you is, yeah, well, you know, as we get things figured out here in the lobby, what I can say is when we transitioned out of this first round, we did see Sloths were ahead by, I want to say, 6 kills. So I'll make note of that as we head into if we have a potential round 5 here. You know, these things happen. New York seemed to be playing well on the host that we just had early on, but things might have changed, you know, as we got through that round. But we'll see how things kind of pan out here.
Yep, as it does look like they are going to try to set this up on a new host. So we are going to have to wait and see what is going to happen there. But yeah, I mean, really, New York was looking pretty good over the course of that round, up until the point that they weren't. I mean, I know there's that quote where it's like they were winning until they were losing, and that's essentially what happened there, is they were winning up until the point that they weren't.
Right, and a lot of the kill feed that we saw, 3 kill series, were going in favor of New York, and we say this all the time, you cannot slow down when you're ahead. I think that this may have been an instance where New York felt like they were settling into the pace of the match, and they felt comfortable really not playing maybe to their full potential, and they, unfortunately for them, Seattle Sloths recognized their opportunity to, you know, kind of stomp all over that. You know, and so I'm going to be interested in seeing if, you know, obviously the way that they were able to come back the way that they did, at a certain point they were down by 6 and 9 as compared to 15 lives for New York, yeah, and managed to end it 6 and 0, right? So they only lost 3 lives as compared to 15 for New York there. Yeah. But as we transition here into the new lobby, how do you think that might impact their state of mind, right? Like, I'll give you a chance to answer before I do.
I mean, it probably was like, I mean, if you're the Seattle side, I mean, you have to look at it as like you had a good first round. I mean, you fought hard throughout the beginning half of that round, and then you got the team wipes when you needed. I think they got 2 straight wipes of like 3 down without losing a player, and that just secured them the caps. I mean, you had KCP was chilling over on B while that A cap was going on, picked up 1.5 ticks by himself, and no one from New York really touched him. Like no one went bothered to go over there to get rid of him. So it ended up carrying forward, and then that just there was only like 1 tick left basically left. So 3 go down from New York, and that's the end of the round. So really that was well played from the side of the Seattle Sloths. So I want to see if they can keep up that momentum and keep that going as we head into the restart.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, as unfortunate as these, typically are, and these host switches are, this may give New York, touch base with each other and communicate with as much time there is between these rounds as to what they can do better. I'm sure that they're not happy with the way this first round came out, hence the host switch. They're relying, I think, in blaming that for being a majority of the issue there in that round. Yeah. But it's going to be interesting to see if Sloths can kind of maintain some of this adrenaline that I'm sure they're feeling after such an intense comeback that they just had round 1.
Yep, as players are flipping sides, so I gotta flip this as well. Yeah, but if you're the side of Seattle, you have to look at that and go, we had a good start. So we're gonna see if they can continue this going forward. I really hope they do, because it was a good momentum shift really in their favor. They picked up the critical kills that they needed, and it just, everything aligned honestly for them. So if you're Seattle, you got to take that. You got to run with it through the next round. As it does look, we are getting ready to go. Just about, I think. As it does look like we should. Getting ready to go. Sorry for the delay here, everyone. As there we go, we are loading up. It is going to be Seattle starting out on defense here as we load into checkmate control once again. Question in the chat: is there ever a dedicated host among the teams? Typically, one player is typically the host for a team. I mean, it usually depends. Captains are usually going to see what the best geographically located host is for both teams. But because it's hosting flipped in each side, somebody from each team is going to be hosting each round. So unfortunately, no daddies. Want that?
Yeah, and I was quiet for so long because I was typing a response to him. I apologize. I guess I could have just easily spoken directly to him, right? But I guess my mind does not operate to the top tier Shio casting level just yet. And as we are back into this round 2 now, remember, Seattle Sloths are up 1-0 here as we move forwards. Palm does have the early kills and trades here onto this B spot, and so far both teams electing to go for this B spot at the start, which is what is different from what we saw in the last series.
Oh, definitely as well. I mean, a tick already came in here over towards B as Kill Ghost is going to hop into the point, is going to get taken down. The fight is going on over towards A. That will be won by Seattle as well. So they're going to deny first tick in A. They'll get rid of that second tick over on B. So honestly, a solid defensive hold here coming out of the side of the Seattle Sloths, as you're going to have New York mounting an A attack here. 4 players heading this way. There's going to be 1 player up in the plane, and they're going to hop 2 on the point. And it doesn't look like anyone from Seattle is really close enough to kind of deal with this at the moment. So they should get at least 1 take in here, and we're going to see if there's any more. As well, Sensei picks up 2.
Yeah, I was going to say Sensei got 2 huge ones kind of on the opposing side of players. flooding in from. It was kind of in that P5 side, as it looks like the players of the Seattle Sloths are going to be pushing through this bottom plane. Number 7 is going to be flying in here in a second. King Leahy does get 1, and Sensei's there for the trade. He does get 2, so this is a huge defensive plays coming out of the way of the Sloths, and they are pushing this out. King Leahy is going to be getting a position here for the rotation as Sensei does sniff him out and anticipates that push to be coming through, as you know, the players of both teams being pretty even in their remaining lives.
Yep, and then right now you are going to see caps coming in on both sides. Sensei's going to win that gunfight. Killer Ghost will win his over towards B. The B push will get shut down, so they're going to be denied that, as Mongo's going to head over here towards A. Sensei's buried in the corner here. We're going to see if they kind of peek out. He will peek out. There you go. Mongo will get dropped, as 2 players are going to hop A. Pumpshow nades himself by accident, so this should be A. Will be capped. There you go, and now we're going to turn our attention towards B, and right now, New York is on the B point. Or, well, not anymore, as Irish Fireman gets cut down. Next up, Killa Ghost.
Looks like Killa does know this kind of like cheeky kind of barrel, this barrel spot where you just need 1 foot on there, and you have that cover that you need. As all 4 drop for Seattle, and that's all she wrote, right? Like, there's no way that Seattle was going to be able to come off spawns in time to drop them off the hill, and you know, New York, after a difficult momentum shifting round 1, answer back with a round of their own.
Yep, I mean, it was a real quick one. Sensei just kind of went on a rampage through the plane here, as he ends up dropping Mongo at the back here, trying to play around the spawns a little bit. But I mean, clear cut round, honestly, there out of New York, and Seattle was holding quite strongly over the course of that round. They were holding their own. They were doing a fantastic job. But unfortunately weren't able to pull it out at the very end, because, I mean, it was just 4 went down. And it was a similar story to round 1, where everybody just drops. And then all of a sudden you can't do anything about it. As everyone's dead, so you just stack the point and that's it. So,
yep.
Well, right off the rip here, we're going to have 3 going down from Seattle again. So New York is going to start off with a nice set of man advantages here.
It looks like Sensei gets caught in reloading as he slides. A decent position here to watch the push. As a player, I did not see this player here on his left-hand side. Killa is likely going to remain in that spot. He has not been called out yet. He does have an angle here onto A if the player does cross and bottom into B. Sensei, the challenging this A side, is going to likely be spotted by either number 5 on your map of Killashire or Mongo. As players push onto this A side, he does get taken out. So we can anticipate the stack of 3 players for the side of Seattle Sloths to be coming through, as they are also pushing out these spawns. Killashire with a huge kill as players rotate off spawns, and he is taken out as well. I personally would have liked to see him stay and stack on that hill. As he drops, it does kind of open up New York to push through in these power positions here, and kills really just coming in on the side of New York, as they now are pushing through to the spawns of the Seattle Sloths.
As I mean, Sensei picked up some fantastic kills on the rotate, as he has 16 and 5 right now. He's going to make it a 6 spree. Looking for 7 in the streaks. Might find it here. Mongo will shut him down, actually, so no streaks to be had. As Pumpshow is going to continue to work on the point. Will get dropped, though, by Mongo, as Mongo will get traded out by Irish Fireman. 5 seconds to go. Seattle probably can't get to a hill in time to stop the clock, as Killshire will drop, and that is going to be New York. With the second round on the board, they're going to go up 2-1.
I think that we're seeing a lot more of what... Right? I think really it's less about pacing now, but really more about the fact that New York has been able to get the kills that are, you know, like this 3-piece here by Sensei. Really getting the kills that are so important to allowing other players on the map to get the map control necessary for some of these respawn pushes. I think that we would really like to see some more of that out of Seattle Sloths. It's difficult. I think they're certainly getting outslayed here, is what it comes down to, as we head into this fourth round. The early kind of kills going back and forth in the scrappy time, as New York does push through back to these spawns. Mongo, is he going to see the player? He does kind of see him cross, and 2 down for the side of New York. King Leahy doing what he can to kind of watch these spawns as players flood out. The A hill is nearly a 2-tick advantage for the side of the New York SubPar, and no really contention by the Seattle Sloths here on A. It looks like Killer had gotten that all by himself nearly.
Yep, I mean, Seattle has had a ton of emphasis towards the plane early, and there was really no resistance from New York, as New York didn't dedicate any players towards the plane. They just sent them all A Street. It ended up going out in their favor, I guess, because Seattle just couldn't pick up all the kills from the plane, and Killer basically just capped it all on its own, like you said, as now you're going to have players hopping onto B here. There should be 2 players here hopping onto this point. The players are coming in. The number 2 on the minimap, Sensei, is going to come in from behind. Will get picked up, but
Huge
Mongo going
by
huge
Mongo.
on the point. We'll find 2 of them, and that's going to be New York evicted from point B. The tick didn't even come through. They got nothing out of that.
Just nearly missed that tick, and it was able to be de-ticked by Mongo. And lives nearly even here, as New York does get the 4 wipe. So we are going to see players having to retake. Number 7, your first there, King Leahy. Yeah, it also gets dropped. So it was 3, 4 down. Players are going to be coming off spawns, and New York knows that. Sensei doing a great job of being a nuisance here outside of wood at the bottom of the Godheady. That trophy, really the MVP of that interaction, closes down any opportunity for any player to be weak in a hill. They really are nearly close to 1 tick. Number 5, Killshire going off huge and de-ticking this, and he allows his players to kind of catch up onto the hill as he is taken out. Unfortunately, there is going to be a player in hill. Number 2 is jumping up bottom wing. Sensei on the kill, King Leahy. Back and forth we go. 11-5. Players are now stacking the B bomb as they are all coming off spawn as Seattle Sloths. It looks like here, without a shadow of a doubt, New York SubPar will be taking this last tick and the 3rd map to close out the series 3-0.
If they will take it 3-1, Seattle did pick up a first round before the restart there. But New York answered back by rattling off 3 straight. And that is going to be them taking the series. Yeah, like you said, 3-0. So we're going to have